So,
Oh, absolutely. That's the best part. Really.
I mean, heaven forbid. Sorry, Toronto. We got to take a little bit of press off you for a little bit.
For a minute.
Just
1 second.
relax. It doesn't mean anything.
In Toronto right now, if you want to talk about something really quick, they are trying to hold on to the head of that table so bad. Because if they end up coming second or third, depending in the Atlantic, they would have to take on either Florida, which they don't want. That's been their arch nemesis, and a Tampa Bay, also their arch nemesis.
Do you want anybody, though?
But if you're Toronto, you're going to get most likely Ottawa. And that also is kind of bad. But I guess I'd rather have Ottawa because I don't know any better.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
You know what I mean? Mentally, I'm not ready for those two guys. Those guys have beaten me in the past.
Here's how I see it.
Here's
how I see it. Toronto doesn't care.
Yeah.
Boston's not there.
Also a great point.
Right. So that whole thing about maybe.
What happened to Boston?
Oh.
How did they go from being one of the best teams of all time, regular season, to being last in the East?
Boston Bruins, more like Boston ruins.
Clip that.
Clip that, Amy.
We're off to the West. In the West, there is a race going on, and it's for the very last two seats at the table. The St. Louis Blues went on a heater of heaters going, hey, forget you guys. We're going to win 12 in a row. You think to yourself, okay, they're really ahead of the game. Minnesota was the one that they kind of leapfrogged. All of a sudden, Minnesota leapfrogged them. It's crazy. But there's one team left. One team from the YYC. It's Calgary. They just won't go away. Here's a team that many analysts decided and said, they're going to suck this year. They're not going to be good. Expect a top 10 lottery pick. We ain't getting that lottery pick right now. Not for that reason anyways. Ladies and gentlemen, our Calgary Flames are technically at this moment, Saturday, 3 points behind. Big game tomorrow against San Jose in Calgary. So by the time you listen to this, they'll either be still 3 points back and maybe, let's be honest, out of the playoff race. We need a little help. You need a little St. Louis to lose. You need a little Minnesota to lose. And then all of a sudden, we have a game in hand. We leapfrog. They lose. We jump. We get in. Could this happen, Dimitri? Are the Calgary Flames going to make... is the Red Mile opening in a couple of weeks?
Listen, I don't know why we always have to go through this with Calgary. It's either they're in, like they're really in, or this happens all the time. Comes down to the wire, and it's, I'm sure there's other teams that do it, and you got the little bit of the home bias because we got a little more skin in the game. We got some passion on it.
Right.
However, I can't help but think that Calgary to make the playoffs, since I've been a Calgary fan, has to come down to the wire. But would you want it any other way? I was talking to the CD yesterday. He's going to the game.
Of course.
Of course he is.
Standard.
And so I said to him, I'm like, yeah, I bet you and your buddies were divvying up the season tickets this year. You're like, yeah, Joe's got Minnesota in the last 3 games. Yeah, take that one, right?
So true.
Everyone's laughing. Now all of a sudden, Minnesota's the hot ticket.
On a Friday night?
Come on.
Honey,
right?
get the babysitter. We're going out.
Well, and what's crazy about that game with Minnesota is that you needed to win in regulation. This is where we were talking about it. And he goes, you got to pull the goalie in regulation because you can't expense the point to the other team.
That's right.
That you got to think about these things. You
got a lot of things to think about.
A lot of things. But I love it. Look, it's going to be hard because they, in my estimation, St. Louis, Minnesota, then Calgary, that's kind of where they rank for me.
Right.
But they can do it. It's not dead in the water, but it is going to be very difficult. W was saved by the bell by the Sports Show, playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast. Amy can do anything.
She's the best.